Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Weekend Catch Up, the podcast where we share our weekend stories and help you practice your English listening skills. I'm Allison.
And I'm Samuel. Happy Monday, everyone. How are you doing this morning, Allison?
I'm doing pretty well, Samuel, though I have to admit I'm still recovering from the weekend. It was quite eventful.
Oh, really? Well, that's perfect, because today we're going to talk all about our weekends. And this wasn't just any ordinary weekend, was it?
No, it wasn't. Saturday was Valentine's Day, February 14th, so I'm sure a lot of our listeners had interesting plans too.
Exactly. Whether you celebrated Valentine's Day or just enjoyed a regular weekend, we want to hear about it. And we'll share our stories to help you learn natural English conversation.
Before we dive in, let me remind our listeners that this podcast is designed for English learners. We'll speak clearly and naturally, and we'll explain any idioms or difficult expressions as we go.
Great. So, Allison, why don't you start? How was your Valentine's Day weekend?
Well, Samuel, my weekend was a mix of romantic and chaotic. Let me start with Friday evening.
I'm already intrigued. What do you mean by chaotic?
So, Friday night, my partner, James, and I decided to stay in and cook dinner together. We wanted to avoid the Valentine's Day rush at restaurants.
That's smart. Restaurants are always packed on Valentine's Day weekend.
Exactly. So we planned this elaborate Italian dinner. Homemade pasta, tiramisu for dessert, the works. But here's where it gets funny. We started cooking around 6 p.m., thinking we'd eat by 8.
Uh-oh, I sense disaster coming.
Well, not complete disaster, but let's just say that making fresh pasta from scratch is harder than it looks on YouTube videos. The dough was too sticky at first, then too dry. We kept adding flour and water back and forth.
How long did it take you in the end?
We didn't actually sit down to eat until almost 10 p.m., 4 hours of cooking.
Wow. But was it worth it?
Honestly, the pasta was okay. Not terrible, but definitely not restaurant quality. But you know what? We had so much fun making it together. We were laughing the whole time, covered in flour. James even got tomato sauce on his forehead somehow.
That sounds like a great memory, actually. Sometimes the imperfect moments are the best ones.
Absolutely. And we learned something important. Next year, we're ordering takeout.
So that was Friday. What about Saturday, the actual Valentine's Day?
Saturday was lovely, but also unexpectedly busy. We had planned a lazy morning, sleep in, have a nice breakfast, maybe watch a movie. But my sister called at 8:30 a.m.
Oh no. Early morning calls are never just casual chats, are they?
Nope. She had a Valentine's Day emergency. Her babysitter canceled last minute, and she and her husband had dinner reservations. So guess who got to babysit my two nephews?
Let me guess. You and James?
Bingo. We had those two energetic boys, ages 6 and 8, from 10 a.m. until about 4 p.m.
That must have been exhausting.
Oh, it was. We took them to the park, played soccer, then came home and made lunch. They wanted to play video games, build with Legos, watch cartoons, all at the same time, it seemed like.
Kids have endless energy. How did you survive?
Coffee, Samuel. Lots of coffee. But actually, it was really sweet. The older one, Tommy, made us Valentine's Day cards while we were there. He drew hearts and wrote Happy Valentine's Day to Aunt Allison and Uncle James. It was adorable.
Oh, that's really cute. That must have made it all worthwhile.
It really did. Even though it wasn't the romantic morning we had planned, it felt good to help my sister out. Family is important.
So, after babysitting duty ended, what did you do for the rest of Valentine's Day?
Well, by 4 p.m., we were pretty tired, but we still wanted to do something special. We decided to go for a walk in the botanical gardens near our house. Have you ever been there?
I haven't, actually. I've heard it's beautiful, though.
It's stunning, especially in the late afternoon. The lighting was perfect. Golden hour, you know what I mean.
For our listeners who might not know, golden hour is that time just before sunset when the lighting is really beautiful and golden. Photographers love it.
Thanks for explaining that. Yes, exactly. So we walked around for about an hour, just talking and enjoying being outside. There were lots of other couples there too, taking photos, having picnics.
That sounds really peaceful, especially after a morning with energetic kids.
It was the perfect way to reset. And then, this is my favorite part. We stopped at this little cafe on the way home. They were doing a special Valentine's Day promotion. Buy one dessert, get one free.
Nice. What did you get?
We shared a chocolate lava cake and some strawberry cheesecake. Both were absolutely delicious. And we just sat there for like an hour, people watching and chatting.
Sometimes those simple moments are the most romantic, aren't they?
Definitely. We didn't need an expensive, fancy dinner. Just good food, good company, and no pressure. That evening felt more us than Friday's cooking disaster.
I love that. So what about Sunday? Did you do anything fun?
Sunday was my recovery day. Laughs. I slept in until almost 11 a.m., which is very unusual for me. I'm usually up by 7 or 8, even on weekends.
Sounds like you needed it.
I really did. In the afternoon, I met up with my friend Claire for coffee. We haven't seen each other in a few weeks, so we had a lot to catch up on.
Where did you go?
There's this new coffee shop that just opened downtown called The Daily Grind. They specialize in cold brew coffee and they have these amazing homemade pastries.
Oh, I think I've seen that place. With the Blue Annie?
Yes, that's the one. Have you been?
Not yet, but I've been meaning to check it out.
You should. The coffee's excellent. Anyway, Claire and I sat there for almost 3 hours just talking. She's planning a big trip to Japan in April, so she was telling me all about her itinerary.
3 hours in a coffee shop. That must be a good friend.
She's one of my best friends. We can talk about anything. Time just flies when we're together.
Did you do anything Sunday evening?
Just a quiet night at home. I did some meal prep for the week. Chopped vegetables, cooked some rice and chicken, portioned everything out. Then James and I watched a movie and went to bed early.
What movie did you watch?
We watched an old romantic comedy, When Harry Met Sally. Have you seen it?
Oh, yes, that's a classic. I'll have what she's having, right?
Exactly. That famous scene in the restaurant. It's such a good movie. Perfect for winding down after a busy weekend.
So, overall, how would you rate your Valentine's Day weekend?
You know what? I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, but it was real and full of good moments. The pasta disaster, the surprise babysitting, the beautiful walk, good coffee with a friend. It all added up to a pretty great weekend.
That's a great attitude. Life doesn't always go according to plan, but that's what makes it interesting.
So enough about me, Samuel. I'm dying to hear about your weekend. Did you do anything special for Valentine's Day?
Well, my weekend was quite different from yours, but equally eventful in its own way.
Ooh, tell me everything.
Okay, so I should start by saying that I'm currently single. My last relationship ended about 3 months ago, so this was my first Valentine's Day as a single person in 5 years.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm sorry. Was it a difficult day for you?
I thought it might be awkward or sad, but actually it turned out to be really fun. My friends and I decided to have an anti-Valentine's Day party.
An anti-Valentine's Day party? Tell me more.
So my friend Marcus, you've met him, right?
Yes, the tall guy with the beard?
That's him. So Marcus is also single, and so is Lisa. And our friend David is in a long-distance relationship, so his girlfriend is in another country. So the four of us decided to spend Valentine's Day together.
I love this idea. What did you do?
We called it Palentine's Day, celebrating friendship instead of romance. We all met at Marcus's apartment around 6 p.m. on Saturday.
For our listeners, Palentine's Day is a playful term combining pal, which means friend, and Valentine's Day. It's become popular for people who want to celebrate friendship.
Exactly. So we all brought food. It was like a potluck dinner. I made my famous buffalo chicken wings.
Oh, I've had those. They're delicious. Really spicy, though.
Yes, I don't hold back on the hot sauce. Lisa brought this amazing 7-layer dip with chips, Marcus ordered pizza, and David brought dessert, these chocolate brownies from a fancy bakery.
That sounds like a feast.
It really was. We had way too much food. But here's the fun part. We played games all night.
What kind of games?
We started with board games. We played this game called Code Names. Do you know it?
I don't think so. How does it work?
It's a word game where you work in teams. One person gives one-word clues to help their teammates guess words on the board. It's really strategic and can get pretty competitive.
Sounds fun. Who won?
Lisa and I were a team, and we completely dominated. We won 3 games in a row. Marcus and David were getting so frustrated.
Nothing wrong with a little healthy competition.
Exactly. Then around 9 p.m., we switched to video games. We played this racing game called Mario Kart. Do you play video games?
Not really, but I know Mario Kart. Even I've played that at parties.
It's such a classic. We did a tournament, best of 5 races. I was winning for a while, but then Marcus came from behind and won the whole thing on the last race.
Ah, so close.
I know. I'm still a bit bitter about it, honestly. He got lucky with a good power-up at the end.
So you ate food, played games. Sounds like a perfect evening. Did you do anything else?
Yes. Around 10:30, we decided to watch a movie, but we didn't want to watch a romantic movie, obviously.
Obviously. So what did you watch?
We watched an action comedy called The Nice Guys. It's from a few years ago with Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
It's hilarious, really funny, with great action scenes and witty dialogue. Perfect for what we wanted. Something entertaining, but not romantic at all.
That sounds perfect for an anti-Valentine's Day celebration.
It was. We were all laughing so much, and we ate popcorn and candy during the movie like we were at an actual theater.
When did the party end?
We finally called it a night around 1:30 a.m. I took an Uber home because I was too tired to drive, and I had eaten way too much food.
That late? You must have been exhausted on Sunday.
Oh, I definitely was. But you know what? It was one of the best Valentine's days I've had in years. No pressure, no stress about finding the perfect gift or making romantic plans. Just good friends, good food, and lots of laughs.
That's such a healthy perspective, Samuel. I think a lot of single people feel pressure or sadness around Valentine's Day.
I think that's because society makes such a big deal about it. But the truth is, celebrating friendship is just as valuable as celebrating romance. Love comes in many forms, right?
Absolutely. I love that you turned what could have been a lonely day into something positive. So, what about Sunday? Did you recover?
Barely. I woke up around 11 a.m. with a bit of a food hangover. You know, when you just ate too much the night before.
Oh, yes, I know that feeling well.
My stomach was not happy with me, so I had a very light breakfast. Just some toast and tea.
Sensible choice. What did you do with the rest of the day?
Well, I had promised my mom I would visit her on Sunday. She lives about 45 minutes away, so I drove over around 1 p.m.
That's nice. Do you visit her often?
I try to visit at least twice a month. Since my dad passed away 2 years ago, she's been living alone, so I like to check in on her regularly.
That's really thoughtful of you, Samuel. I'm sure she appreciates it.
She does. She always makes a big fuss when I come over, cooks too much food, asks a million questions about my life. But I love it. It's comforting, you know?
Definitely. So, what did you do at your mom's place?
Well, first we had lunch together. She made my favorite, her homemade chicken soup with dumplings. It's a family recipe that's been passed down for generations.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
It's incredible. I've tried to make it myself a few times, but it never tastes quite the same as when she makes it. I think it's because she's been making it for so long, she doesn't even measure the ingredients anymore. She just knows by instinct.
There's something special about family recipes, isn't there?
Absolutely. After lunch, we worked in her garden for a couple of hours. She has this beautiful vegetable garden in her backyard. Tomatoes, peppers, herbs, lettuce, all sorts of things.
That's impressive. I can barely keep a houseplant alive.
It takes dedication for sure, but my mom loves it. She says gardening is therapeutic for her. It gives her something to focus on and care for.
What did you do in the garden?
We were doing some early spring preparation. We pulled out some winter plants that had died, turned the soil in a few beds, and planted some new herb seeds, basil, cilantro, and parsley.
I bet that was nice working outside on a Sunday afternoon.
It really was. The weather was perfect, sunny but not too hot, probably around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. We were out there chatting while we worked, and it just felt peaceful.
What did you talk about?
Oh, you know, the usual stuff. She asked about my work, my friends, whether I'm dating anyone yet. Moms never stop asking about that.
No, they don't. What did you tell her?
I told her I'm happy being single right now. I'm focusing on myself, my career, my friendships. She seemed to understand, but I know she worries about me being alone.
That's natural for parents. They want their children to be happy and settled.
Exactly. I tried to reassure her that I'm doing well. I told her about our Palentine's Day party, and she thought that sounded wonderful. She said when she was young, people didn't really do things like that.
Times have changed, haven't they?
They really have. I think there's less stigma now about being single or celebrating different kinds of relationships. It's more accepted to do your own thing.
I agree. So, how long did you stay at your mom's house?
I left around 6 p.m. She packed up a bunch of leftovers for me, the soup, some bread she had baked, and some vegetables from her garden.
Moms are the best at sending you home with food.
Always. I'll be eating that soup all week. When I got home, I was pretty tired, so I just did some laundry, watched a little TV, and went to bed early. I wanted to be ready for the work week.
Very responsible. What did you watch on TV?
Just some random cooking shows. I find them relaxing. There's something calming about watching people cook, you know?
I totally get that. So, overall, how was your weekend?
Honestly, it was exactly what I needed. Saturday was fun and social. Sunday was family time and restful. I feel recharged and ready for this week.
That's the perfect way to spend a weekend, I think. A good balance of socializing and downtime.
So, Allison, before we wrap up, I'm curious, what do you think is the key to a good weekend?
Oh, that's a good question. For me, I think it's about balance. You need some fun, some relaxation, and maybe some productivity, but also flexibility, being okay when things don't go according to plan.
I like that answer. For me, I think it's about being present, whether you're with friends, family, or alone, just really being in the moment and appreciating it.
That's really wise, Samuel. I think a lot of people spend their weekends worrying about the upcoming week or thinking about work.
Guilty. I definitely do that sometimes, but I'm trying to be better about disconnecting.
It's hard in our modern world with phones and constant notifications.
So true. Actually, speaking of that, I have a question for our listeners. I'd love to hear about your weekend.
Yes. How did you spend your Valentine's Day weekend? Did you do something romantic, something fun with friends, or did you just relax at home?
There's no right or wrong answer. Every weekend is valid. We'd love to hear your stories, and it's great practice for writing in English.
You can share your stories on our social media pages or send us an email. We read every message.
And don't worry about making mistakes in English. That's how we all learn. The important thing is to practice and try.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening to Weekend Catch Up.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your friends who are learning English.
We release new episodes every Monday, so we'll be back next week with more stories and English practice.
Until then, have a wonderful week, everyone.
Bye for now.
Take care.